Shirley's amazing, famous stuffing recipe. Dressing, stuffing, call it what you want. Anyways, I never liked this stuff until I met my mother-in-law. And this stuff's the bomb. So I'm going to make it for you. And let me tell you right up front, a lot of people get intimidated. There's a lot of ingredients. But this, honestly, is about as simple as it can be. It really is easy. And no matter if you like to stuff your bird with it or not, you can still make this. Put it in the bird, put it in a crock pot, doesn't matter. It turns out amazing both ways. So here's the ingredient list that you're gonna need, and let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna need is 13 cups of dried bread cubes. Now, I started these a couple days ago because you want them nice and dry. You can see, like, they're crispy now, but you want these nice and dry. So I would say 3 days ahead of time, you wanna cut them nice and small, let them dry. If you don't have time to dry them, right, you can buy them dry, just don't buy them seasoned, or you can kind of put them in the oven just a little bit. Don't cook them, just dry them. So you want them nice and about as dry as possible. So 3 days, and I've tossed them every couple days. Then we're gonna need 1 cup of butter. We're gonna need 2 cups of chopped onions, 2 cups of chopped celery, a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, 1/2 a tablespoon of salt, 1/2 a tablespoon of ground sage, 1 teaspoon of dried ground thyme, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and optional but highly suggested, a 1/2 teaspoon of marjoram. Then once we get everything mixed together, we're going to need these 2 ingredients here. We're going to need 4 to 4.5 cups of chicken broth, and we're going to need 2 well-beaten eggs. So let's get to mixing this stuff up, and I'll show you how we do it. You want these as finely chopped as possible because they mix with the ingredients. So I slice them and then basically just cut them real fine. So look how nice and small those are. So that's how you do the celery. All right, so man, these onions got me emotional. Actually, they make me, yeah, if you've ever cut up onions, wow. Anyways, my daughter uses onion goggles. I don't like to do them. I just like to tough it up and be a little emotional when I cut onions. So anyways, we got the onions and the celery cut up. Here's what we're doing next. Okay, so we have our cup of butter melted in a pan. You can see it's nice and sizzly. Let's get our 2 cups of celery, 2 cups of onion. We're going to saute this down until they're translucent. And other than eating, this is probably one of my favorite parts of Thanksgiving or any meal that you're making this for, because the aroma in the kitchen from these cooking is just absolutely amazing. And it sticks around until the meal's ready, so you're extra hungry. Like I said, cook them down until they're translucent, because you want them kind of done before you put them in the stuffing. All right, this is cooked down nicely. We're going to go ahead and get this off the heat, let it cool just a little bit, then we're going to mix everything up. Alrighty, so we're ready to mix everything together. We've got our onions and celery all cooked down, and they've cooled just a little bit. They're still warm, but they're not super hot. We got our 13 cups of breadcrumbs in our bowl. All of our spices are mixed together. We've got our 2 eggs well beaten, and we have our chicken broth. So let's get to mixing. So the first thing you want to do is take your dry spices and mix in. So I'm just going to sprinkle here. And if you sneeze, it's because you got some pepper in your nose. But you kind of want those dry spices all mixed in good. And if you mix in the wet stuff first, they're really going to clump up. So you can kind of see how it's changed color because you got the spices mixed in. And there are some at the bottom. They have sank to the bottom. Next thing we're going to do is take our onions and our celery. I'm going to pour it all in here because it's easier to mix. But you want to make sure you get all the butter out of here with the onions and celery, and mix this good before you add anything else. Because again, you don't want clumps of anything. You just want everything evenly mixed. Man, the smells right here with all these spices. I am starving. All right, we have these mixed pretty well. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our chicken broth and 4 to 4.5 cups. And basically, I'm just going to pour most of this in right now Just leave a little. Come back to it because I want to mix it and we'll get the chicken broth in. Now the key here is you want to get this moist enough. You really don't want to see chunks of breadcrumbs like this. You want it kind of to be a gooey mess. So you let that chicken broth really soak in here because that's how you break up the breadcrumbs. And it looks like we're going to probably need the 4.5 cups, not the 4. We'll see what happens after we mix this in. So a little bit of that stuff is settled. So let's get that in. Really start mixing this up. You see how that last cup made a lot of difference. See how gooey this is? Kind of looks like a hot mess, but this is amazing tasting. So again, I want to get all that chicken broth mixed in. You see how the breadcrumbs are kind of turning to goo? That's exactly what we're looking for. Because if you had solid breadcrumbs, they just don't taste the same. All right, so we've mixed this up real good. You can see there's really, you can't see any breadcrumbs or bread cubes. That's what we're looking for. So the final thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna take our well-beaten eggs and we're gonna mix these in. And really the primary purpose of the eggs is to make everything stick together. We wanna mix this quickly because this stuff is warm. We don't want the eggs cooking. So basically gonna mix this up here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our turkey ready and we're gonna put a little bit of stuffing inside the turkey and that cooks the whole time with the turkey. The rest of it we're gonna refrigerate until an hour before the turkey is done. We're gonna basically take the rest of this and spread around him and cook for an hour and get the edges really crispy. The crispies are the best part in my opinion. All right, we got everything out of the oven. Look at that stuffing. All the crispies right around the sides here. So we're gonna pull this all out and we're gonna put it in the pan. Then we're gonna carve up our turkey. Put the stuffing back in here, get all the turkey pieces, and we're gonna mix all the...
It's gonna be so good.
We're gonna mix everything back in here. All right, so we got the turkey carved up. We're gonna take the excess stuffing, put in this pan. See all the goodies in here? We're gonna put the stuffing in. Whoops, messed up that pan. And we're just gonna mix this all in. Mix it up good. So now you got some turkey mixed in with your stuffing. And you can see all this. Look at the good stuff right there. All the crispies. That's amazing right there. So we're gonna mix it in. Mix everything up. Get in the pan. And let's get this on the table. So perfect, wonderful stuffing. I say let's eat. Well, you see this piece right here?
Hot lava.
Okay, yeah, palm.
I got a martini. You can put that out.
Martini?
Apparently, we're drinking way too much.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
That's the bomb right there. Dirty martini. If you haven't seen that video, I got one of those too. Put the link down in the description. Now, you can use this recipe. I'm making it for Thanksgiving with a turkey, but you can make this for Christmas. You can make it for Easter. You can make it for on a Wednesday. It doesn't matter. If you're making turkey and you want stuffing, this is absolutely the bomb. So leave me a comment. Let me know how yours turns out. And happy holiday or whatever you make this for. Have a great day.